right now. Wes and Mike Teasy coming all strong, straight into the end zone. Hey, be sure you stick around because we're only getting warmed up.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, welcome to another episode. It's a good one, this one today, because we've been asked about this many, many times.
No big intro.
What?
No big intro.
Big intro. Welcome to Think Wedding Business, guys, with a bit of a topic today. Me and Adam have a little chat, a little chinwag. We're going to chew the fat because we've had quite a few suppliers slide into our DMs, ask about can we make a podcast about breaking into the high end of the wedding industry, the real high end where the real money is, and making more money with your service. So it's like, although suppliers who have reached a certain threshold where they're not sure if they can charge anymore, they know it's there, but it's how to get there. The videographer might be charging £1,500 to £2,000. They want to know how to get into the £4,000 to £5,000 to £10,000 market. Singer like myself or DJs generally charge £300 to £500 average DJ price. They might want to be charging £1,000 or £2,000. How do we get into that market? How do we charge more money? And how do we get into the high end sector? And it's come up a few times, Adam, hasn't it now? So we thought
we touched on this on the last episode with Dan, and that was kind of where he was up to in his journey. And I think a lot of people resonated with that episode. We're at the same sort of point, because you can get, it's like not groundhog. It's like kind of no man's land. You get to it and then you just get stuck there for ages, or you can, and you can get comfortable because it's a good price. Like in videography, the £1,500 to £2,000 mark is where most people's kind of, that's the average, and you can get sat in there for ages because it's good, and you can book a decent amount of weddings at that price point. And then obviously to go beyond that, there's the risk involved of whether you're gonna then still book those weddings and people are going to pay those prices. So it's having the bravery to do it and calculating the risk and then actually being able to do it successfully. There's loads to it, and not that we are in, neither of us are in the super luxury high end market. Well,
it's funny you should say that, because the things that I have an idea of how to get there and the strategies to implement, to actually get to that level. I personally don't want to do that where I am, but I can understand why a lot of people do want to do it. And I think a lot of it as well, why do they want to do it? Well, for me, the reason is that they want to earn more money and probably do less work. I think that's one of the motivating factors, doing the less work and being able to charge more money.
More or the same, so that you're earning the same at the end of the day, but you're having to work less for it. And I think there might be a factor of like the acclaim and the authority, that if you're at the top end of your sector in the industry and you're charging the most, then you've got that kind of, you've got that clout, you've got that platform where people go, oh, they're the top person. So that,
yeah.
And the suppliers look up to that, and couples will see that, and that resonates as well. So, but I mean, all that boils down to being able to get more money, doesn't it? So
I think that's the motivating factor, isn't it? I can earn more money, and how to do it. So we can maybe address a few of those different things. Maybe we should start. I mean, I've definitely got my ideas of how to get into that real high end luxury wedding bracket where all your clients are millionaires and you're flying all over the world doing it. I've definitely got a few ideas of how to get there, because I know a lot of people that are in that area and in that sector, and I just watch their moves and see what they do, and it does speak for itself. But I think the earning more money one is probably a good place to start. And we're going to have to come off this, Adam, from different perspectives, aren't we? Obviously, you're a filmmaker, I'm a wedding entertainer, but I think we're going to have to give a bit of advice across the board for whatever. So earning more money then. So let's talk about that one with your service. So you've got your service to a really good level. You're great at what you do. How can you actually earn more money? Well, there's always a thing that I always had in my mind, that if somebody bought from you once, they'll buy from you again. So I think certainly offering more services and additional add-ons is a way to earn extra money on, say, a gig that you've been booked. It's like we went through this with you, didn't we, Adam, when we first started? It's like, right, this is what I offer. What else can I offer? And I remember you showed me another videographer's PDF of their pricing guide. And did they have like 30 or 40 different, something like that, different offerings So it wasn't just ceremony, speeches, and full film and feature. It was like a whole list of other things. And I think you were telling me the guy said, well, occasionally I get some clients who buy the whole thing and it's like 10 grand, you know.
Well, people can only book what you've got to offer. And you can do a bit of digging, but you don't always know what their budget is without outright asking them, which I don't like to do. And you can kind of you can feel your way and try and figure out roughly and work out what type of wedding, but and get a good idea. But sometimes, I've had this, you'll have had it, where you get you meet those clients or you get on a Zoom call to them and you tell them everything and they just go, yeah, we'll book. Yeah. And they just take you by surprise and you're like, oh, I should have slapped an extra 0 on this. Jesus, that was easy. And like you turn up to the wedding sometimes you think, I could have easily charged more for this. This is a good wedding. I'm definitely undercharging. But and so it's for those kind of couples that maybe come along once, twice a year, where if you've got more to offer, they'll just go, oh yeah, we'll just have all of it. I want that and that and that and that. And if it's there and it's on offer and you can explain it and justify it, then they'll go, oh, like for me, for the like an extra for me is having a second shooter with me, bringing someone else to film extra angles. And if I offer that to them, they go, oh, what's that? Do we need that? And I go, well, it means you get both sides of the morning. You get the bride and the groom getting ready so you've got it all. Oh yeah, that'd be quite nice actually. Yeah, go on. And if they've got the budget, of course they're going to spend it. Like they've set aside this amount of money to spend on the wedding. They'll spend, especially the bride. They'll spend it. They're not going to go.
I used to do the same.
Let's. We've got a £50,000 budget for the wedding. Let's only spend the 40. Like they're not. Most people will just go, yeah, let's just fill it and have a. Like we've got that money. Some of it's coming from parents. Some of it's coming from wherever. Let's spend it.
Yeah. So I think that's the takeaway for anybody listening. It's like what other additional services could you offer? That's going to make a difference to your bottom line. For instance, for me, I don't do it anymore because it's just me now. But I used to offer the full day and evening package with what I offer. And it was like DJ or band or saxophonist or percussionist, or a 19-piece, orchestra band. And I've actually been booked for these things in the past before. But I think it's about having it all there so people can actually go, yes, I will have all those things. As well, like you say, you don't know what people's budgets are. And if you've not got the things there to offer them, then they're not going to buy it.
Well, if you just have one price, one package, they'll either book it or they won't. But if you've got that and then you've got stuff as well, oh, by the way, I also do this. And you can mention that when they first inquire. You can mention that the month before the wedding where you have a check-in and a final catch-up. You can mention that like the day of the wedding, the day after the wedding, and at various points. And because I remember when I used to go out with you in the early days, and you used to get me onto your weddings, and we'd go to say goodbye together to the bride and groom. At which point they'd say, "Oh, thanks, Adam. You can't wait to see the video." And then I remember we used to have this like sales thing where you'd go, "Oh, Adam's just been telling me he's got loads of extra footage. Did you go for the bigger film or did you just go for the shorter one?" And you used to kind of sell that on for me at the end of the night. And obviously they've enjoyed the day and they're a bit giddy. And I go, "Oh yeah, we'll chat tomorrow. Yeah, maybe we should upgrade. Maybe we should." So there's loads of different opportunities throughout that journey where you can pile the extras on.
There's multiple points. There's multiple points throughout the wedding planet, and then even beyond. The perfect example of that with you after the wedding. So I always say to videographers, make sure you overshoot. You've got more stuff because if they've only booked a highlight film, they might want a big film once you've been there and done the wedding because they might think, God, we don't really miss out on that opportunity. But not only that, another great opportunity for you guys. A year later, you message your couples. Oh, by the way, I'm clearing out all my hard drives. I want to know if you want the raw footage from your wedding. It's going to be 300, 400, 500 quid or whatever, but it's just going to get binned unless you want it. How many times have people bought from you?
Yeah. It's that FOMO. As soon as they know that it's not going to be on offer forever, then they're like, "Oh."
Same. Me and Sam, our photographer from our wedding, 5 years or something after our wedding, they come back and said, "Oh, we're actually retiring now. We've got all the files and everything from your wedding, everything we ever did. We always keep things documented, and it's all going to get binned. Do you want it?" And it wasn't a lot, a couple hundred quid or something. and we just bought it all. And it's a bit weird because we never even look at our wedding.
No, but it's the FOMO, isn't it? Because that's your memories, that's that moment in time of your life. So it's like, well, there might be something in there that we've not seen, like might be a shot of grandma that we need, you know.
But you might be a photographer now listening to this and thinking, wow, I've got 100 clients previous. I could message them all saying, I'm clearing out my hard drives. I'm wondering if you want all the other stuff. It's obviously takes me a bit of work to do, so I charge for it. But I'm happy to send it over to you before I clear everything away. Even a year, 2, 3 later, you've got an opportunity to still make money.
And that's quite specific to photographers and videos, but there'll be different things in different sectors of the industry, no matter what you do. Because unfortunately, or whether it's a good or bad thing, you can't resell a wedding service. Like once they're married, unless you get the divorce and then do the next wedding, like it's not happening very often, that is it? So
my wife's never let me do that. I've been offered many divorce parties, so you're not doing them. So
I've never, so occasionally you can get, like, if you're offering a cake, if you're a cake maker, or you do styling or backdrops, you might end up doing like the kids parties and the baby showers and stuff. Once they're married, you might be able, there's repeat business for some, but certainly for me, once I've done the wedding for the couple, as far as that couple goes, that, like, I'm not getting any more money out of them. So these are like little ways that you can try and milk a bit more.
Yeah. It's Johnny Draper springs to mind here, because I know that years after the wedding, he's gone and he's done their christening photographs or birthday photographs, and it can be looking out for things like that. Certainly, if you're a filmmaker or photographer, this is why the social media is so important. Keeping in touch with your couples, so you get to see how their lives are unfolding. We've got a christening in a couple of weeks. You could even jump on the old DMs and say, "Oh, I know you got a christening. Just to let you know, I do those as well. If you want it documented." Things like that are ways to earn extra money. But I certainly go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, this for me is going back to the start of this conversation, where we're like, how can you charge more and earn more for your service? It's a different mindset of going, I'm not just going to try and charge more for my core package, whatever. You're thinking of other ways to increase your income through doing different. So it's not just about, I need to be in the higher market, I need to charge more. You could, like, if you want to earn more money, there's other avenues to do it. You can just expand your offerings. You don't need to necessarily just keep going and pushing your price for your main thing. You can offer other bits, can't you?
Yeah, and you can probably, I know some people that do this as well. You actually offer other services and get people in on the wedding. Sometimes couples are so invested in you and they really trust what you say. If you tell them, for me, I'm a singer, if I say, oh, by the way, I've got a photographer and a video who do work for me, are you interested in what they do? You can bring other people in and make sort of commissions on those. That's another way you can do it. It's a little bit like what I brought in bands and sax players and DJs, from all the extra admin stuff it takes from me, I charge it extra for,
You're trying to bring a monopoly on the wedding industry and take all the work from everyone else.
Yeah, but some people do that, don't they? They literally offer everything. And if a couple's really invested in you, they will say, you know what, we'll have everything. It's like when we did the abroad weddings, the Portugal one, the Cyprus one, they brought my DJ, they brought you, and they were trusting what I was saying, the people to go with. And I think I did put a full package together, including photographer and everything at that time.
Yeah, I mean, we've done several where it's the planner or the photographer. Like Johnny Draper's good for this. The couple will get in touch with him, and then he'll be like, right, well, you need to book this person, this person, this person. And then they'll just go, okay, we trust you. And they do. And it's all his mates, and you end up with the same team doing every wedding.
Yeah, but that's more on a recommendation level. But I'm just thinking on a business side, you could bring a whole wedding package if you wanted to do that.
Sure, yeah. You pay them, charge a couple of fee, outsource the person, pay them, keep it all in house. Then you've got, like, we won't get onto this today, but you've got the factors of your turnover, your VAT threshold, and So it's knowing where you are and what you want to do with your business and whether you want to go down that route or not, because that's not for everyone.
I've been there. I've been in that position and I've done those things, but now I've obviously brought it back. Just me.
Whilst we're on the upselling, what would you do? When do you slip that in? When would you mention that for the first time? I know we've said about, like, you can bring it up various points after the wedding even, but when you're doing that initial chat with them and you mention this is what I charge, this is what I do.
Well, it starts obviously when I've had the meeting, when I have the meeting with the couple. So I always used to do this when I was kind of upselling different services. I'd have the meeting, I'd make sure that they were completely sold on me and what I brought to the wedding. And then the back end of the meeting, I would say, oh, by the way, I did a wedding last week and I brought in my band, or I brought in a sax and a DJ. I did the full package for the day and the night. And it kind of ticks all the boxes and everything's under one roof. You'd have to go find other people. But I do offer this and I do offer that. And then you can back it up with bits of video, bits of footage from those things. So I would always mention it towards the back end of my meeting, not necessarily have it booked, but just say, oh, by the way, I also offer this in case you're interested. And you'll know if they're interested from when you say that. And if it sounds like they are, then you just follow on a little bit more. Oh, I do this and I do that and I bring that in. And it makes a really good experience. Don't have to worry about it for now, but just to let you know, that's what I offer. And then obviously you're on socials with them and they're seeing you and you're seeing them. You can put little clips up on socials. So they're getting to see all these little extra things that you do. And then it may be halfway between the wedding. You could just do a quick courtesy email. Hi, how are they? Just to let you know, looking forward to your wedding in 6 months. Just want to check. If you've got everything sorted for your wedding, do you need any help with anything? Obviously, I did mention that I can bring other services in, but just let me know if I can help you. Maybe mention it then. And I've even done it where I've mentioned things on the final meeting 2 or 3 weeks before the wedding, and they've gone, oh, maybe they've got a bit of budget left.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, actually, yeah, we will have that. And I bet you've probably found that with the wedding films.
It's a nice thing to slip in at the start, obviously, so that it's there, that you've told them about it. It's done. Like they might write it down, they might just remember something, but you just slip it in at the end. The side do the same. No pressure. Like you can just, this is for stuff further down the line, but just so you know, I offer it. And then at the end, because you do, like, they're paying off all the balances and they're working out how much money is left over, and there might be a bit left in the pot. And like I say, if there's money in the pot, they will spend it. Oh, I've got a note. I've got a note in my diary about that. You might have, we discussed about having this extra thing. Is that still the case, or did you want to do you want more info about that at this point? Very often, because for me, I have 2 main packages. So if for the couples that book the smaller package, I always then go back towards the end and go, so I've got you down for this one. Just checking, like it was a bit TBC when we last spoke. I don't know if you'll remember because it was ages ago, but the other one's this much if you wanted to go for it. And I get people then adding it on, but also it's just planting it in the mind again nearer to the wedding, so that when the wedding day comes around, sometimes they'll come back with that. I've planted, it's incepted in the mind, and they'll get after the wedding. Oh, I know we said we weren't going to bother, but we've been thinking about it now and we've decided we will. So just mention it a couple of times. Eventually they then come back to me and go, because is with the wedding day done and they're looking forward to seeing the film, and they're going, oh, maybe we should have more footage. Let's message him. He did say it would be open, so let's just see. And I get sometimes people upgrading. So I've just got to slip in it. I've got to slip in here because I think, and again, this is something that you showed me from somebody that you knew. When somebody books you and then you send through all the booking details, was sending the client. It was either in a PDF form, or I'm not sure what form it was, but you ask the couple to tick what they've booked, and it was a big list. Yes. So at the top would be whatever it may, whether you're a venue dresser or anything. They might have booked your initial offering, but then when they're faced with the thing of what they tick of what they're actually booking, and they've got all these different options, because it's in front of them, they might go, actually, we do want the room lighting as well. Go on, let's tick that off. Price is there. Let's tick that off as well. Or we do want that tree that goes over the top table. We didn't think we needed, but actually seeing it and a picture of it on this PDF tick form thing, it looks amazing. We'll tick sneaky. That off. Yeah, very, very sneaky way of getting people to book. It's subtle because you just go, oh, I know we've discussed like that you were leaning towards this package. Can you do me a favor and fill out this form? So because then it goes into my system, and just tick there and confirm what it is that you were booking. And then because you're not saying like, oh, here's my extra stuff, please consider this. Like, you're not selling it to them. You're just going, can you just? I know we've you've said what you want, but can you just put it through here because I need it to go into my system? And if you do it on this form, and they tick through it and they see it and they go, oh, and then when they're ticking through and they can the platform I used to use, you could see the little total in the corner in like the shopping trolley, and it was adding up, and they tick the various things. And sometimes, like when you're shopping online and you just, I'll add that to my basket, I'll add that to my basket, I'll add that to my basket, just for fun. And then just I want to see how much the total is, and it's just a fun game. And then by the time it's in the basket, they're like, maybe we just leave it there. And it's that mentality. And it's like when you shop on, I don't know, Apple, for example, you buy a computer and you go to the next page and they go, whilst you're here, would you like to buy this, and this? And you can just click them and it just adds on, and you go, and by the time I'll just see how much that is. And you click them all in and you go, oh, I don't want to take them out again now.
Business 101. It really is business, commerce, selling 101. And we have the same with my separate business. When people go through to checkout, they've got another offering. Oh, by the way, we've got 10% off of these. And it's like, while I'm at checkout, oh, go on, I'll have that one as well. So just pull it back and make it simple for the people that are listening and watching. It's when you take a booking and they ask you to send the booking details, you will send them a detailed, either a PDF or whatever platform it works on. I'm not too sure. Maybe you can fill me in on this, Adam, where they've got what they've booked when you've been chatting, and maybe 5 other different offerings of things that they could potentially want to book. Have it as a tick box and ask them to tick off what they're booking. I think it's because they're faced with an immediate choice. Sometimes they might think, oh, we might have to book it now. We were thinking about it. Let's just tick it off. So it's having all those little extra offerings just on when they're on the point of booking and paying their deposit of what they're having. There's no extra deposit for those services, but they're going to be ticking those extra things off. And I think, 50% of people might book. So for instance, for me, it'd be my daytime package. My add-on extra tick would be evening package, starting set in the evening. An extra tick would be, would you want a DJ? Next tick, would you want a sax player? Next tick, do you want a percussionist? Next tick, do you want lighting for the rooms? All these little extra things to tick off. And, if you get 30 to 40, 50% of couples ticking on extra little things, how much of a difference will that make to your bottom line?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking like hairstylists, makeup artists, they turn up in the morning, they do everyone's makeup. Would you like to add on the full day, or I'll stay later and I'll top up your makeup for your evening? Things like
extra
that.
Hours.
That's an easy one.
Extra hours for a photographer as well. Most photographers leave
stay till midnight or whatever.
An extra 2 or 3 hours. Tick this.
It's like you or singers, other entertainers. I'll do your ceremony and I'll do your drinks. Do you want to add on your meal? Do you want to add on your evening? Do you want to add on your cocktail hour? Extra time.
And I think it's quite important on that PDF not to just have like words, have it sectioned off with an image of what it potentially would look like. If it's
video to promote it.
Yeah. If you're a room dresser or a video, anything like that, where it actually shows it as well, rather than just writing with a little tick box.
Yeah, I think
a bit like the word is love, isn't it? When they've got a full PDF, you can go and tick off everything that you want. That's where that came from.
Shout out.
The word is love. And they've got such a brilliant, in-depth catalogue of things they offer. And I imagine if you're getting married, you'd look at that going, but they showcase what they're offering really well. It's like, oh, that looks stunning. That looks amazing at our wedding. Yeah, we'll tick that off as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's the one, isn't it? Having lots of different offerings.
It's just taking it a step further, because I've got a PDF, a pricing guide PDF that I send to couples. So once we've chatted and they've heard my spiel, I send them at the point that I want to send them my prices. I send it on a nice PDF that looks all luxurious, and I've designed it, and it's got everything I offer, and it's got all the add-ons there. But it is just a written thing. And most people will have something like that, but it's going that step further and having it interactive so that you can physically tick it. And I think if you're on a CRM, a lot of CRMs will do this for you, or there'll be other platforms out there. The one I used to use isn't going anymore. They folded. But that extra step further to make it interactive, so that, like you say, they have to click it there and then it just has that little extra FOMO feel to it, and they just go, oh, we need to tick them. But also, I like to let people know that it isn't doesn't need to be decided now because I like to try and keep it open as long as possible and just play it down really, so that nearer the time I can still be like, oh, did you want to? Oh yeah, we did think about it. Yeah, no rush. Let me know because for me, the most powerful time to sell extras is after the wedding because once it's done and they've experienced it from a video point of view and a photo point of view, they're like, you've got their memories of their wedding that they're just gonna like, well, if there's more, we'll have it. We'll have it. It's the FOMO.
How often do you manage to sell raw footage? Say when you're clearing out your hard drives, is that something that's worked pretty well for you?
Maybe like, so maybe I don't push it too hard. Like the annual, maybe in January, I'm clearing out. If the wedding was over a year ago, I might drop in and say I'm clearing out everything. Are you interested? So I'll maybe get a few a year. But during COVID, obviously no weddings. I did a big Instagram post and said, for anyone who's got married in any of my couples over the last however long I've been in business, 5 or 6 years at the time. I've got all your raw footage, by the way. It's still sat here if anyone wants it. So that I think I've sold about 20, and I did a discount on it, and I made like a few grand during COVID just to keep the cash flow going. But yeah, it's you can, like, with raw footage, you can charge a few £100 for that. So if I get 5 or 6 of them a year, it's a few extra grand, and it just tops up my income. It's great.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant. You're in a brilliant sector and a category in the industry to be able to make money after the wedding.
After the wedding, yeah.
I don't think. Well, there probably is because I've not thought about it too much. But for me, once I'm done, I'm done.
It's from you. It's more stuff on the day, like you say. You can offer more. You can bring people with you. You can offer the extra hours. I mean, is there an argument that as a singer you could like record everything that you've sang your performance throughout the day and then offer that to them afterwards?
So here's one thing that I did, because I was always thinking, but years ago, I actually even got James Jebson to come and photograph it, this one, because I was trying to push it at the time. I think I ended up doing 3 and I just sort of fell out with doing it. But because I was thinking, what can I do after the wedding where I can potentially earn a bit of extra money or do something pretty cool? So I used to contact couples to say I'm offering an anniversary surprise. Don't know if you remember this. So a year after the wedding, when it was their anniversary, because I knew when it was, I used to slide into like the groom's messages and say, just let you know, I offer an anniversary service. So basically what it is you will arrange a restaurant with you and your partner, you're going out for an anniversary meal, and halfway through the meal, I'm going to burst out from behind the curtains and I'm going to sing your first dance song. Because back then I used to do stuff in the evening. I'd always do the first dance. And I'd sing the first dance song, and that is the surprise. I think I charged 300 quid for it, something 350. and I did it a few times, and it was quite good. I did enjoy it, to be honest, but I never really pushed it. I did it a few times.
The market there, the hapless groom that's like panicking about his anniversary and how to impress his missus. This is brilliant, because I would
sing about.
If my wedding florist messaged me a week before my first anniversary and said, by the way, do you want to recreate the bridal bouquet as an anniversary present, surprise your wife with it, I'd be like, amazing. Yeah, you've just saved my life. I was struggling to think what to get her. Like, brilliant.
Yeah, and that's much better than the jumping out behind a curtain and singing some songs. But I think I did 3 songs, I think. So I started off with hiding behind a wall or a curtain. Then music would start playing. I'd work it out with the restaurant. This is what I'm going to do. And it would be their first dance song. And I'd start singing it from behind a curtain. And in my mind, I'm thinking the bride's looking at her husband going, oh, that was our first dance. Remember, Howard sang. That actually sounds like Howard. And then I jump out and it is me. I mean, what an impact. That's a mega.
It's cool.
No, you're getting special hugs that night, aren't you?
But this is the male, like, if you sell
male
that
perspective.
If you're selling that to the groom, then in most cases it'll be like, this is brownie points. This is like, you can't put a price on that. And it's a really easy target audience to sell to.
You
I
know,
think that's great.
you know, the funny thing is, I think the 3 that I did, I don't even think they're together anymore. Not that it's anything to do with my singing on the anniversary, but I know 100%.
That was the corniest thing that you could ever done. You've embarrassed me. I don't want to marry you anymore.
They absolutely loved it, and I thought it was really nice. I remember one couple, and I took Sam along with me. So I did my little thing, a little 3-song show, and we got up, and Sam came, and then afterwards we had food with them. So definitely on one of the couples, we sat with him and spent like an hour or so sat down at the table with him, and it was
gate
really,
crashing their anniversary.
yeah, but it was really nice, you know.
It's not, but it's and that again helps your relationship with your couple and keeps it ongoing. And you know they're gonna recommend you to their cousins and their friends when they get married, because like it goes back to just relationship with your clients, doesn't it? And
yeah, it's a good thing to do. So that was talking on how can you make extra money after the wedding as a singer. That is potentially one way that you could do it. And don't forget, you're hopefully going to get repeat business. But I mean, for the actual couple, what can you do after the wedding? Start thinking about it, people. You know, obviously, we've talked about what Adam's got for the extra footage, asking them about the birthdays and, you know, and christenings and anniversary photography and all that kind of stuff. It's get thinking, you know, what could I do? What could I offer? What could I offer before as extras? And what is the potential for offering afterwards as well?
Do you know what I always think about? And this comes away from couples, but in terms of finding other ways to you know generate money within your business, is other suppliers. And we've touched on this in previous episodes about digital products and education. And you know, for anyone who's in any part of the wedding industry, if you've been doing it for a number of years and you've been successful over a number of years, you've got experience, you can offer that as in the form of education, courses, workshops, etc. Digital products that you can sell to. I mean, there might even be digital physical products that you can offer to couples, depending what you do. Like I say, the florist can offer them more flowers, you know. But that's like.
Well, here's one way. Then here's one way. You could create your own Amazon store, but as an affiliate store. And I've seen lots of people do this. I think they've had links in their emails and they sent the couples, oh, have a look on my wedding resources Amazon store. And basically you can go onto Amazon, you create your own affiliate site store, if you like, within Amazon. And it can be table favors, it could be anything wedding related product wise. And you could just send them that link. And if they click on there and go through, you make a little bit of a commission on whatever they buy. And the beauty of the Amazon affiliate thing is, say if they go on and use your link to buy something for the wedding, if they stay on Amazon and buy a TV, you will also get a kickback from that sale as well. This is the beauty of Amazon.
So for anyone listening that isn't aware, anyone can Google this and make an account, the Amazon affiliate program, and then if you send a link to a product on Amazon to anybody and they click it and then they purchase something from that period of being on Amazon, like I say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that product. It can be anything. Then you get
you can categorize it. You can categorize it as well between bride and groom. So you could have, you could have bride, you could have bridesmaids gowns for the night before that says bridesmaid on the back. Start thinking, slippers, favors, all these different sorts of things that you could have a little category, and then you could have the male side and whatever accessories.
That's good. Have you seen someone doing this, or is this an idea?
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
I've seen the odd person in the wedding world do it, but I see it more so. For instance, when I was converting my camper van, I was watching people's YouTube videos, and he said, "Oh, by the way, I've got a link below attached to my Amazon store, and it'll have everything from taps to you name it, anything to help to convert a camper van." And there might be 100 products on there, but they've done a video about the things they've used. Go on and get it. It's not their product; it's somebody else's product, but they make an affiliate sort of fee.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, in terms of like planning advice for couples,
wedding planner, notebooks.
You can have a page of like, here's loads of inspiration for your wedding of products that you could get, and like you say, categorize it and just put that on your socials, and couples click on it. It's good.
Wedding survival kit. Your mind.
That's great. I like that. Yeah. I might do that. Well, because for videographers with my education stuff, I have, and it's a separate website. I have a page of all the kit that I use for filming weddings. So it's got my camera, it's got my lenses, it's got all my equipment and the stuff I recommend and why. And so people can log on and see my kit list. And then if someone clicks on that, it takes them through to Amazon and I get commission that way. But so I mean, you know, anyone could do that, but I like the focusing on the bride and groom and with the mindset of like, I can help you plan some stuff, and here's some ideas for things you could have for your like backdrops, tables, your favors, your setting, your like your bridal night before, the little funky hats and prosecco glasses and any like there's loads, isn't there?
Confetti cannons and smoke bombs and you name it. You know, there's so many. If you've got a store that I've got, you know, 100 different ideas, wedding accessory ideas. Oh, by the way, it's my Amazon store. It might be something that's 20 quid and you think you get what 5%, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all like, to make extra money, aren't we? So
if they do that and they click on it and then that's a tab that just gets left on it because I never shut my Safari down. It's just always open with. So if that Amazon tab's there, I might go back 3 days later and go searching through Amazon and find something else, and you still get commission on that, don't you? I think that's the powerful.
Oh yeah. So if anybody listening who doesn't know this, yeah, once somebody's got your link that takes them through to their Amazon, no matter what they buy afterwards, you know, in that session, or like you say, even if they've left it open, you get a commission for that as well. So if they go on to buy £1,000 telly, and you're going to get 5% of that sale.
I love this. Let me because it's timely that you mentioned this. Let me just find my affiliate page because literally yesterday, someone bought a 2 camera lenses, and I got £27 kickback commission yesterday.
Wow.
Through my links. So for this month, May so far, over various commissions that I've made, £62.30 a month for May, that's not a normal, like normally I make about 30-40 quid a month from Amazon affiliates because I don't like it's not super active, but I've got a few links that people click through my YouTube channel, and occasionally I sell some stuff or make commission on some sales. But this month so far, just because someone's bought a couple of high ticket items, I've got 62 quid, which, you know, if you're making like 100 quid, 200 quid a month, that's soon adds up, doesn't it? It pays you food shopping and stuff.
Brilliant. Yeah. So it's a good little extra way of making some cash.
Are you on it? Because I've made some weird commissions on like crazy items in the past. Like people have bought all sorts that I've then got commission on, like, you know, hair straighteners and
yeah, it's because they've used your link and
DIY tools and else. Yeah, I've had some weird ones in the past. It's funny.
I mean, so it's like you say, someone's going on and they might go on and buy a lens cap, but at the same time, they might go on and buy a new camera. And if they do, you get the commission from that, which is great. Yeah, it's interesting. I bet a lot of people actually didn't know that, did they?
No. Amazon affiliates. And it's, you know, it's great because everyone's on Amazon and everyone uses Amazon as it's like the number one online shop, isn't it? So
yeah.
That's cool.
Good one, that, isn't it? Little extra sector there for people to
like ponder. That's all extra ways of making money, but let's go back to the core of how do you earn more money and charge more and be in that higher.
You know what? I think we need a whole new podcast episode for that one because I think it's such a big. There's a lot to talk about, isn't there?
Well, we're gonna have.
Should we do this as a two-parter? Should we do it as a two-parter?
Yeah. We're gonna have a guest, aren't we? Who's got there and done it that we can interview and discuss it with further down the line. So I think that'll be interesting. But the whole point of everything that we've spoken about so far for me is that to help people think outside the box of how to increase their income without having to just go for the luxury market. Like, you know, if you're in a place where you're earning however much and you're like, oh, I need to break into the higher market because I want to be able to charge more. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can earn more from doing extra stuff. Because I've hit a point where I know in videography world what it would take for me to get into the higher end market. I hate using that term, but and I it would mean a different type of branding. It would mean a different type of communication. My relationship with my couples would change. I'd probably be working more with planners and through planners. And it's not necessarily something that I want to do. I charge the price that I'm comfortable with, and I get a good amount of bookings for that because I like going to weddings. I like doing 30, 40 a year. And the people that the weddings that I do cater for and the couples are generally like, I can connect with them. They're on a level similar to me, and they're like-minded people, and they're in good jobs, but they're not like the super wealthy, where I might feel a little bit out of it. So it's until you've kind of got to that point and got that experience, and I've done a couple, like every now and again, I've hit a big wedding and it's been high end and it's gone through a planner, and I've turned up and gone, I could have charged double, three times what I charged. Like, this is a mega wedding. But then occasionally I don't really enjoy it the same because you just kind of more of a spoke on the wheel in that sense. So I've had that experience and gone, well, maybe I'm happy where I am actually. And it would take a lot of work and rebranding to get to the next part. And I'd rather just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm happy with. I think there's this illusion that the only way to progress as a wedding supplier is to charge more and work less and get into the top end, and that's success. But it isn't, because you can, like, some people are happy doing 200 weddings a year, charging £1,000, and just love the grind and love attending weddings. And for you, you've not got much after the wedding. There's no editing work like I have to do, so you can cater for more weddings. And I'm I am happy with the number that I do, happy with what I charge, and I like the people that I work for, like my usual clients for the most part. So like, and I can consistently book that year on year. So I like that success for me. I'm happy there.
Yeah, me too. Exactly the same. And for me, I have to have that connection with my couple. So this is one reason why I never really wanted to go there, where, some other performers that I know and, bands, they're 20 grand a pop and they're doing all these multi-million-pound weddings, and never wanted to go there. I have done some absolute bangers, but I've always had the connection with the couple, and I've been booked personally, and that's the way I like it. As I love my couples, I love the amount of weddings that I do, and but I definitely think there'd be a lot of people out of me like, no, I want that real looks higher, and I want those weddings. What do we need to do?
You've got to really look. You've got to really look at yourself honestly, and it comes down to, like, I know because I've spoken to other people about this, and I've kind of seen it myself a little bit, because, like I say, I've done a few high-end weddings. When you're in that kind of circle of that level, that class of people, where you go and they're all like lawyers and doctors or whatever. It's everyone at that wedding has money and is from money, and they all dress a certain way and they all communicate a certain way, and it might not be what you're used to, but that's where you've got to, like, for me, I know that if I wanted to get more of that, I would have to dress slightly more smarter. I'd probably invest in like designer like I'd be wearing like Louboutin shoes and designer belts and designer suits and having them custom made, but just so that when they see me turn up and I'm wearing designer, they'll be like, oh, he's one of us. Yeah, cool. And
you're blending into your surroundings, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think for most of us, I see this in photo and video land. Some dress smarter than others. Some photographers just turn up in like trainers and jeans and stuff, and that's where you're going to alienate yourself from the higher end. So I really do think there's something in, like, if you've got Louboutin shoes, is it Louboutins with the red sole? It is Louboutins, isn't it? If you've got the really designer shoes and you don't have a big bulky camera bag, but you've got a slick little designer duffel bag from wherever.
Yeah.
Then you've got nice smelling, like really premium aftershave, and you smell great and you look great, and you've got you've had a shave and stuff. And it's like, I guess it'd be the same for a female supplier, like dressing again in appropriate stuff, and obviously you got to be comfortable because you're working, but guests will see that and go, oh, they're one of us, cool. And it's just that little sort of, like, I don't want to stereotype people, but I think if you're working for a group of people that are that have money and are dressing in certain caliber of clothing, and you're just there in your trainers and your jeans. First impressions, isn't it? They're gonna have a perceived idea of
I think you're 50-50 on it, because sometimes if you are outrageously standing out, then that can be a good thing.
If it's a style thing and it's a brand thing, then that can work.
Yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't probably do that. I'd probably go the way of blending in and looking sharp as anything.
And it's the same with how to communicate. And it's like, you can't just have like, if you're going down, like for us as a northerner, you can't just go down south to a load of bankers and lawyers and just have like load of northern banter and be like, oh mate, it doesn't, like you can. It's just it's thinking, and I don't like this isn't the case for everything, but it's analyzing your surroundings on the day and thinking about it and go, right, what kind of hat do I need to wear today? I need to be posh Adam, or I need to be like banter Adam, or I just need to keep quiet and do my job. I did what, so for example, in the summer last year, I did one wedding where I was about to go and say goodbye to the bride and groom at the end of the day. And I was chatting to the planner, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going in a minute. I'm gonna say bye to the couple, and then I'm done. So, nice working with you." And she stopped me and went, "Whoa, don't go and say bye to the couple. They've asked not to be disturbed by suppliers."
I'd hate that.
And I'd have just gone up and been like, "Guys, thanks so much," giving them a hug. But for that type of person, that type of client, that's not the done thing, and that would have, that probably would have gone against me in terms of like future referral and stuff. So it was good to know, but also for me, I was like, I don't know if I want those kind of couples that I can't say bye to and have a laugh with, So it's interesting.
Mate, we have a whole new video on this. I think you should say that one, because I think that'll be a good one for people who are wanting to do that. There's real specific ways to get in there. And it's quite important, but it's not for me. Definitely from what you've just said there.
Well, certainly if you're for I don't know, florists, cake provide, like anyone that's product service that just go drop it off, go home, then you don't really need to deal too much with the client. So you can very easily do you can target the higher end, and because you don't need that like for you or for a magician or for a celebrant, like it's really important that you have that connection with the couple, whereas other services it's not as important, is it? So
I mean, this is why I don't like working with planners, and I know a lot of planners, and they're great, but I don't like working with them because I always like that connection with the couple. I want it to be, I don't want anybody in the middle. I just want it to be us, but that's my thing. Planners are brilliant, and they've got they serve the purpose without a doubt. But for me, it's not for me. But that is one of the ways to do it. But we can talk about that.
Yeah, but
which ones and where to go. And
there's not to say that the high end market is just planners and it all goes through planners. Like you can get people with loads of money that just come direct to you and go, "We want to book you, we love you," and you can still have that relationship with them. Like they are, these people do still exist and have loads of money. Like it's not a hard and fast rule.
I've done them. I've done loads of weddings like that where you're in the mega high end area, and I love it when I go on those weddings and it's I've got her on my own. I didn't need a planner, and it's just great. But I think it's the circles, isn't it? Once you're in them circles and how to capitalize on it afterwards.
All right, yeah. So that's another thing. Once you recognizing that opportunity, and you might do one of them a year as a fluke, but then once you do it, you've really got to milk it. You've got to get in with them, and like if you end up doing like for me, if I get an inquiry and it's like wedding in a marquee at parents' estate, that screams like family money. Coming from wealth and having a big and big marquee, nice high end wedding. They're spending a lot of money there. Yeah. So straight away, I'm like, right, if I get in with these and do a good job, like I'm going to end up doing the sister's wedding, the cousin's wedding, the neighbor's wedding, like all of them. You get into those circles, so you've got to take advantage of those situations when you can. And but all of that, but we can discuss it with a guest on another time.
We can. For that.
We're obviously not the experts because we're not in that market, but it'd be good to get someone who is and find out what it's really like.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I know people that are there and doing it, and I'm sure you do as well. And success always leaves clues, doesn't it? So I've definitely got a set of sort of strategic things that I would do to be able, to get there, and 100% would work. So we know, I think between us, our knowledge, we know what we need to do, but it would be great to get somebody on as well to have a chat about it.
But it's good because it's not the only way to grow and to increase your income. Like as we've discussed, there's loads of other things you can do if you'd rather stay where you are and just offer extras. My takeaway today is the Amazon. I'm gonna make a page. I think that's a brilliant little idea.
Well, yeah, listen, if you've got, I don't know, you might have 100 bookings ahead of you for the next few years. You just send them a link with your Amazon store. Well, by the way, I've got a load of things on here that I think would be really helpful. Go and have a look. Great. And it'll say on it, Adam Wing's Wedding Help Store, and it'll have all these affiliate products all in.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
I think really, because the main chat has been about how to charge more for what you do. It's just having the offerings, isn't it? More offerings before and after the wedding. Start thinking about, what extras could there be, and what little ways can we do to kind of increase our sort of bottom line. And that's really my takeaways. Really, from this one.
Whatever niche you're in, what more can you offer? What else can you bring in the lead up and going beyond the wedding, and then whack that into some sort of interactive checklist?
It's the checklist at the end when somebody's booked you is a really good one. It's a really good tip, that have everything listed that you offer with an image or something to actually show what it is as well. The little tick box. Oh, can you go and then just tick what you're booking? Well, I'll have them extra 2 things I didn't think I needed.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you the previous guest's question and the what's your most embarrassing story, because
I think I've said one of the most embarrassing stories already in one of our past
podcasts. We've done it before. Yeah, we'll save that because we have a question from the previous episode, Daniel Johnson. We'll save that for our next guest because this was just us today, wasn't it? So
good.
We'll be back next time with another guest, and thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you could take something away.
I've enjoyed chewing the wedding fat. Maybe we should have called our podcast that. Chewing the wedding fat. I think wedding business.
Well, we'd have to get a new neon sign now. You've already committed and probably invested too much in that neon sign. Can't change it now. All right.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Hope you got some out of this one. If you did, if you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. Let me know your thoughts.
Take care. Have a good wedding if you're working this week, and we'll see you next time.
I am working this week. I'm down as far as...
I was talking to the listeners, not you.
Oh, to the listeners. Yeah. Have a great week, guys. Have a great weekend, wherever you... And what can you offer extra to make you a bit of extra cash?
Boom.
Bye.
So thanks so much for listening. We really hope that you found this episode insightful, inspirational, and if you did enjoy that, then please consider subscribing to us wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. We're Think Wedding Business.
We're also on YouTube and Instagram, so if you want to watch us, you can go over to YouTube and find us at Think Wedding Business. And the same over on Instagram to keep up with all of our future episodes.
We'd really love you to subscribe and join us on this journey. And if you do like this content, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It just helps us get seen and helps spread the word.
So thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.